A possible threat to our democracy. Microsoft says a group of Iranian hackers, nicknamed Phosphorus, attempted to infiltrate the campaign of one or more presidential candidates. They didn't succeed. Here now is cybersecurity analyst Alex Hamerstone. So, Alex, does this attack look like it could be linked to the Iranian government directly?
So that's tough to say. You know, these attacks are pretty common, both domestically and from overseas. So it's really tough to speculate and know exactly who it was. But according to the reports, it does look that way.
Alex, one of the things that jumped out to me in terms of the headlines, Microsoft saying the attacks being disclosed on Friday were not technically sophisticated. When I think about hacks, I think about Capital One. I think about how sophisticated the hackers have to be. But it's scary to think they don't.
So the fact of the matter is what we think of as hacking and people writing code and breaking into stuff is less common than what we call social engineering, where people are able to go out and look on social media or other places and get the kind of information that you then use for these password resets or to impersonate somebody or trick them through phishing or other ways to give away their account information.
Alex, hi, Adam Lashinsky. I'm curious about the corporate angle to this. Can you explain why it's Microsoft announcing this, and how should people who use Microsoft products be reacting versus people maybe who don't use Microsoft products?
I think it's a good indication that Microsoft is out there keeping an eye on these things and watching these accounts and watching for suspicious activity. So I think definitely no matter what email service you use or what services you use, it's very important to be vigilant. So I don't believe that, because it's Microsoft, this necessarily makes that, less secure or something like that. There have been similar warnings issued from other email providers in the past to campaigns as well.
Gary?
Hey, Alex, Gary Smith here. You bring up a very good point. The whole hacking like you see on Mr. Robot is, it's not the most common way. It's the common way you say, hey, by the way, what's your password? Or you're right, you go onto Facebook or something like that. Are these corporations, political organizations, anyone else getting any smarter about not divulging personal information that you've seen since you've been in the industry in the past few years?
So there's a lot more information out there to get. So I think people are, but also they're sharing a lot more. So I don't know. It's still a very common vector and a very common way to get into these accounts. So while people are more aware, they're not necessarily smarter about it, to be honest.
By the way, there are only two people running for president who have who use Microsoft as their email provider. One is President Trump, and the other is Mark Sanford. So it's between one of those two, I think, that where they tried to get in. But there's a U.S. Air Force spy, a woman named Monica Witt, who defected to the Iranian side back in, I think it was 2012. Here's her wanted. She's still assumed to be in Tehran. Could she be one of those people who might be behind this?
Well, anything's possible, but the fact of the matter is, according to the reports, with the sophistication level of these attacks, it really could have been anybody. Really anybody that's able to go out and Google and look up people's information and then try to get the information to reset their password. So it's really impossible to speculate about that.
All right. Well, Alex, you're great. You really put it in perspective. Please come back and see us. Alex Hamerstone, thank you very much for being here.